And you don't have to work and slave. You don't have to work and slave. Let electricity do it for you.
Well, it seems like here we are again. Back to square one. What do you think of that? I have no idea what you're talking about. Well, you need to know what I'm talking about. Because what I'm talking about, you have to know what I'm talking about. It's relevant. I mean, seriously, it's all relevant. What do you think? I mean, Batman and Robin, why you hiding in the corner hobnobbing? You must be slobbing. Dirty Sanchez, I know somebody named Muez who don't like me. Guess what? Who cares? About to drop like Shinnin', so be prepared. Don't act scared, eyes wider than Ric Flair. You smell like you fake, go stand over there. Where's my Dominican pound cake with the Haitian sprinkles? Some men sit down when they piss, they go tinkle. Supposed to be grown, but it sound like Rocky Bullwinkle. Mortal Kombat, whoopsie. I bought a bag of shit coins to chart with whoopsie. Where's my wife? I need her to come soothe me. Cause I bought a bag of promises and fallacies. I don't appreciate the disingenuous nature of your statement and your stance. Shut up. I'm from the Bronx, but I'm not Derek Jeter. You sold the coins, red candles, you a Jeter. I know some kids doing time for holding heaters. They put the grip by the waist next to the skeeter. A true seeker who likes to teach, relax, and kick my feet up, show the kids a better way. Other than being G'd up, find a better way. That's what it is, always. Peace. What we doing? What we doing? Anyway, technical difficulties as usual. You know, when it's about time to really put your best foot forward, well, for me, I find myself trying to overcome these minor obstacles. These minor obstacles, man. You know, this is not working, that's not working. So I had technical difficulties. My second attempt to do this live. You gotta understand the bull market's not here yet. So, you know, I don't have enough. I'm still, you know, like a person I respect. He's trying to make the best that he can living under a bridge while he's waiting, you know, for the bull market. And me, I'm just trying to trying to help people not get locked up or find themselves, you know, living by train tracks. Like real talk, seriously. And it's hard when you're working and you're trying to delay your gratification. I'm saying it's just hard. This is what it is. You know, it's a whole mentality out here. This is it's just the mindset is everything in what we're doing. How's everybody doing? I hope you're doing good. I'm not gonna keep too much of your time, you know. For real, for real. Shout out to Crypto Gains Club in the building, you know. Shout out to DJ Cryptomatic in the building. Thank you for your support, sir. As always, hope you enjoy your day. Yes, it was technical difficulties for real, you know, not for fake, but for real. Appreciate you for being here. Alan Fizza May in the building. You already know Batman and Robin, right? Am I gonna shed light on who Batman and Robin is? Guess what? Who cares? Who cares? Ernie Savage, what's up, man? What's up, man? Crypto Gaze Club says the Mortal Kombat. Whoopsie. You know? So, I'm gonna start this off by saying the better Bitcoin. Yeah. When will everyone figure it out? Like, we're learning as we're going through all this. We're learning that there's a better Bitcoin out here. Is that even possible? Could there very well be a better Bitcoin? Ah, you must be fibbing, Wonder. You must be fibbing. You bought into the Kool-Aid? You're brainwashed too? That's what the majority of those the when you talk about maxi, like Kotex, I don't like the term maxi because it reminds me. Shout out, shout out, shout out. But it reminds me of maxi pads. Shout out to the brand. I'm not, you know, like, we gotta really be for real. I don't like the term, but when you think about Bitcoin, that's when I first heard about maxi anything. Maxi anything. And it was an immediate turnoff. Immediate. Maxi, this one narrow view of everything, like this one way of thinking. It's just this way and no way. I learned in my short life that did not yield great results for me in different capacity. When you just have a one view, like one narrow view on anything in particular, something in life is going to show you otherwise. And it's going to be up to you, right? It's going to be up to you whether to accept widening your scope or not, or remain closed. This is almost akin to ignorance. I'm not trying to embrace ignorance here. We're not doing that. We're not doing that. Like, we got to be as fair and impartial, objective as we can, even though you already know we're one day closer to the next all-time high for Hex. We're one day closer to the next all-time high for Pulse Chain. We're one day closer to the next all-time high for Pulse X. And shout out to the INC token, the Ink token. Nobody's really giving Ink that much love. They're just saying, oh, that's just a perpetual kind of like dump situation. Incentive tokens, like, they're just there, shout out, look what Cake did for Pancake Swap. Like, they just disrespecting the fact that they really can't appreciate what's been done here or possibilities of new things occurring and evolving. A lot of people just don't understand. They're not RH. It's not about coddling him and being a fanboy and all that. It's just, this is what he's done. You can't respect it. You can't respect the fact that there could be something better out here than Bitcoin. Like, folks consistently want to stand in their own way. I know what that feels like, and it's terrible. Especially when you reach a certain realization and you're like, oh man, why did I do that? Why did I block my own opportunity? Why? I better learn. Hopefully I learn, so that way I don't repeat the same mistake. Like, seriously. It was one thing I found that's very interesting. When Bitcoin, oh yeah, Bitcoin, nobody can take it from you. And, oh, it's these words, immutable, man. We're gonna be hearing it for a very long time. These terms, censorship resistant, permissionless, all this stuff is just becoming a part of our culture, really, at least from a financial standpoint in crypto, right? All these things, peer to peer, supposed to be serving as some type of cash. Yeah, cash system, blah, blah, blah. Now it's evolved to store value because you know how clunky the system is and all these things. I remember years ago, people who were not really sort of like accepting of Bitcoin, they didn't like just holding it. They didn't want to just hold it because they're like, oh, hold it. You know, with that meme with the funny character with the stick kicking the Bitcoin or hitting the Bitcoin, like do something, do something. They don't want to just hold. And those people that don't want to just hold the thing, they want to see themselves, they want to see not themselves, but they want to see the crypto making money for them every day. Making money. Just not just sit there and just hope for something to go up. You don't know when it's gonna go up. You just holding, right? They couldn't deal with that. So years back, people found themselves doing different things with their crypto, gambling with it, you know, believing in third parties or intermediaries promising that they were going to do something special with their coins as long as you allow them to hold your coin, give them your keys, they'll give you a nominal fee, some type of nominal rate for that. So you're thinking, oh, finally, finally, I'm giving somebody something that I think is precious. I'm gonna give it to somebody else to take care of it because I'm not good enough, or you know, I'm not worthy enough to hold on to my own asset. And not only am I gonna do that, but they're gonna give me a nominal pittance, an allowance, some type of stipend on top of the crypto. So I'm making some money finally. That's what people thought. And got rugged. Got rugged. I'll give you $1. You give me back two. And think that's real? I'll give you $3. You give me back five. Oh, I'm winning. You think that's real? Right? So those things don't work. So it's interesting when, you know, and I'm talking back in when this heyday, there's this crazy stuff with lending platforms came out. Before Nexo and all of them, the lending, before even, like, it was around the time when Salt was had their ICO and they were talking about lending. You know, you had a slew of degenerate scam lending platforms. You give them your Bitcoin, they're giving you money every day, every day, every day until they stopped. Until they stopped. Yet 2017, 18, all that stuff. You have a Bitcoin guy, because that's what that's what I've learned he was, right? Bitcoin guy. You go toe to toe with the best of them, defending them, you know, like defending Bitcoin, defending BTC to the hilt. Blue collar grunt. What's up? Good morning. Tin top. What's up? What's the word? What's the word, Tin top? Right. Shout out to the viewers. And he discovered sooner than later. Glad it was sooner, even though he was in crypto for many years, that Bitcoin just left a lot to be desired. To this day, left a lot to be desired. People started saying, well, not started, but they revered Ethereum as trash, as a scam, right? As like some type of fake Bitcoin and all this stuff and blah, blah, blah. But the guy who used to be pro Bitcoin, had the narrow minded focus, the narrow minded perspective, realized, oh, wait a minute, Ethereum offers more. And folks don't want to accept new things. They don't want to accept change. And they may not even want to accept when they're wrong. These are crazy aspects of life that we have to deal with, right? So in his quest for glory, 'cause I'm pretty sure now it's not, he didn't start seeking glory now. He didn't start seeking glory now. He's been on that mission for a while, right? You could tell. You could tell. So on his quest to find something that could be even better than Bitcoin, right? Years ago, they were educating me, the people who've been in here for the longest in this community, and even him, he revered before it was Hex, it was Bitcoin Hex. Yeah, right. So he's trying to advance, evolve, create something new, better than what was already there, than what we have. That's what he was trying to do. Include mainly the same principles that allow Bitcoin to have its network effects, its presence, its decentralized nature to, an extent, because I don't believe Bitcoin is as decentralized as people would want to believe. As these guys who promote it wants the world to believe. They just got the bag. They got the bag and they're waiting, in my opinion, for everyone else to come in so that they can proverbially dump. Because you can't tell me there's no centralization in Bitcoin, right? You look at how many wallets, like it's not a million wallets, it's maybe, and last I checked, the top holders or the top wallets in Bitcoin have the majority of the daggone coin, man. And you want to talk to me about decentralization, like from a practical, simple standpoint. Let's just be for real. Oh, it's decentralized because you could have fractions, or it's divisible by how many decimals, and everybody can have a piece. Yeah, you could have a piece, but if you suffer from unit bias, right? People like to have the whole of a thing. I don't want to have a piece of a vehicle. I don't want to have a piece of a bed to sleep on. I want to have an entire thing. Give me the whole bed, okay? I don't want to have half a shirt. I don't want to have half or a quarter or a tenth of my shoe to use to walk on. Give me the entire product, right? But they want you to believe. They want us, all of us, to believe that this thing is so decentralized, everyone could afford to have a piece of it. Of course you can. Of course you can. You're gonna pay a nice grip. You could have a Satoshi. You're gonna pay handsomely for that though. A lot more than what that one Satoshi is worth. This is the rules. This is how they tricked us. That's what they did. Made us believe that, oh, this thing is so for the people. It's supposed to be, right? Supposed to be a tool that we use to reclaim our power, reignite, rejuvenate what's already within us. We use this tool to lend our power that's already within us so that we can use and exchange, right? Barter, buy, whatever, away from these oligarchs and these monsters that want to continuously control us and continuously put their proverbial feet on our necks. That's what Bitcoin's supposed to be, for the people. Yeah, it's not necessarily for the people like they'd like you to believe. Like folks don't want to accept that. Like I was listening to so many people who were pro Bitcoin. Like you would swear they had the knowledge of the creator. The way they would break it down, they would thermodynamics, physics, right? Big Bang Theory, evolution of man from primates, the argument between, what came first, the chicken or the egg, everything you could think of, all types of metaphysical, mystical, right? Laws of physics, science versus God. Everything you'll find all that type of philosophical rhetoric when it comes to this Bitcoin. It'll be like, oh man, this thing is so pristine. It's as if the creator just said, here you go, humans, here you go. I will allow you to have this. Oh, we're so thankful. Oh my goodness, look at this. This is so, oh my goodness, it's majestic. This is a divine piece of architecture, a divine piece of technology. Oh, thank you. Finally, oh, we can uplift ourselves from the depths and the bowels of monstrosity and tyranny that's been consuming us for time immemorial. Like, come on, folks. Come on, man. It doesn't work like that. Not when the few have the most. The few have the most. And you're going to tell me all is decentralized. Make it make sense. When I saw the Chamath Palihapitiya, like the Chamath P. I have a hard time saying his name, but if I see his name, I try my best to pronounce it properly. Chamath was on a panel years ago. The man said he acquired, at that time, maybe it was 10, maybe 11 years ago, something like that. I want to say 2012, 13. He said he spent $80 million US, something like that, on Bitcoin, which amassed at the time to 1 million Bitcoin. And you mean to tell me that is fair, son? This is what we're doing? Who else could have done that at the time? Like, as far as the majority of people, not many. And you got 1 million. And how much is supposed to be ever created before it had to be rolled back, before the bugs were discovered and the chain had to be rolled back at least twice? How many is supposed to have been created so far? What are you talking about? How many is supposed to be created by year 2140 when we're all not even here? 21 million, and you got 1 million, just you? Not even talking about the founder, Satoshi Nakamoto and them, because it's pronouns. You don't know if there's one person. You don't know if it's many people. You don't know what they are. The pronoun. So it's Satoshi and them. Oh, only 21 million, but one out of billions of people got 1 million. And you gonna tell me? You gonna tell me there's some decentralization with that? That's what you're gonna make it makes. Listen, man. This again, man. I'm not gonna buy half of my underwear, a piece of a hat to wear, a piece of a coat. Let me get a quarter of the chicken wing. Let me just get a piece of that so I can, participate in decentralization of food processing and marketing. Let me, because I'm a participant in this decentralized nature of eating. What the F are we talking about, man? Consistent lies and this baseless propaganda to keep you asleep, keep us asleep. And I'm not taking anything away from how high Bitcoin went up in price. Like, I'm not taking anything away from that. But it's those types of properties that the founder, when I say the founder, I'm talking about Richie Rich, is those types of properties and then some. Because my brain is not as big as his, bro. Like, that's just what it is, bro. Like, he did something that I just haven't done and won't do, because I know my limits, my limitations. And added extra elements to make this all make sense with and include centralization within a decentralized situation. You got to respect it. You got to respect it. You have to respect it. You have to respect the fact that we were consistently lied to, even though there are properties within Bitcoin that do work, but Richie Rich made it better. It's just what it is. Made it better. You may not like how he made it. You may not like what it's about. You don't like the name, you don't like the color of the token, you don't like the fact that you don't know anything about this OA, but do you know anything about these top holders of Bitcoin? Do you know, one man, one human being having millions, a million? What are we talking about? I don't know if he still has it. But this is what he mentioned 10 years ago. And you think he just stopped buying then? That's why you see all these companies clamoring. This guy who's late as all heck, a sailor, he became the new messiah back in 2020 when you didn't care for it. Back in 2013, talked about how it was nothing, worth nothing. It was a scam. You were almost like Warren Buffett and them. Talk about all this rat poison squared and all kinds of stuff. But you come in now and you like the spokesperson savior and blah, blah, blah. You outdid Max Kaiser, the Antonopoulos guy. You outdid whoever, who. Roger Ver done went to, Bitcoin Cash back in 17 and did all that, blah, blah, blah. I don't see Trace Maya anymore, who was one of the people I used to like listen to him speak about. This attorney, this guy. You hear him talk about, you think like, yeah, man, this is digital gold right here, bro. He stopped talking. He stopped talking. Then you had the anarchist people, right? Berwick and a slew of them. But there's just a community of people singing the same praises. But then when you bring certain things to their attention, it's like, it's still decentralized. Meanwhile, they're hoarding as much as they can. What can one person do with so many coins and then claim that they'll never sell? Like this guy, Saylor, has said years ago, he's going to buy so much and never sell it. Like hold it for 100 years. You're not going to be alive the next 100 years unless you know something that many people don't. Probably into life extension technology. Who knows? But you consistently acquiring more and more and more. You don't, and people don't like call out the greed factor, the selfish factor in all of this. You're gonna talk about fair distribution. Oh, everybody can have a piece of the Bitcoin. It's fair. Yeah, but you're hoarding units by orders of magnitude higher than most will ever be able to hoard. You're storing coins in mountains. Like, I'm not saying he is, but this is what's been said. There's people been mining forever. You got entities, whatever financial behemoths jumping in, doing the most. You got governments that hold this thing. Well, guess what? Who cares? Because we got a better situation going on. And you know what? The truth of the matter is, this might have still been like, even though, it still feels like a bear market in a way. But really, to be real, in the beginning of this year, Bitcoin wasn't at the price it is now. I don't have the chart in front of me. But in January, Bitcoin wasn't at 30, 35K. It wasn't. I remember it was under 20. I remember when Bitcoin was under 20 this year. Oh, yeah. I know I'm old. And I forgot a lot. But I remember that. So it kind of, is some, there could be an argument that, this has been also the beginning. We've kind of been in the bull market, folks. Let's not dismiss that, because the signal is that people, The signal is, I mean, you can't tell me that Bitcoin, once it rips, what is it? Rising tides raise all ships. Once Bitcoin rips, everything else follows, right? So we understand. We might have been in a bull market on the low, 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 low. I'm not gonna dismiss. I can't be fair and say, oh man, like at least for Bitcoiners, like if you did a nice little thing. I think it went down as maybe 15, 16K, and then it's hovering at 35. Oh, you got a little 2x. You got a little 2x in 2023. We still in a super bear. I don't know if this is 100% bear. I don't think so. I don't think this has been 100% bear. I don't think so. But we know that it's not the real bull, though. We know it's not the real bull. So when Bitcoin goes back up and soars, because I'm not gonna be a full like a non-believer in Bitcoin. I'm like a non-believer. That was the first crypto that I was introduced to, right? So I'm always gonna believe in its capabilities. If it wasn't for that, we wouldn't be where we are today. Get ready. Get ready. When these boring entities that we call institutions and all this stuff and blah, 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 and all this money starts pouring in, get ready, get ready, get ready, because it's going to catch us off guard. It always kind of does, unless you really like in the no. For most people, we're not in the know like that. It's going to catch us off guard. And if you mess around and you don't take advantage, you'll be watching something, wishing that you were a part of it. Telling you, like this is crazy. You can't just acquire Bitcoin and stake it and earn yield 00 UTC cha-ching every day. You can't do that with Bitcoin, and that's annoying. That's annoying when you're holding a coin and you just like whatever YOLO. Okay, that's cool. It's fine if that's your personality, that's your temperament. That's the way you conduct your life and your business. It's fine. A person like me, it ain't fine. No. No, it ain't fine. It ain't. I need to see something. I need to see. Need to see something. Need to see something. And for the past, like 00 UTC, ching, 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 ching. That's the closest thing. That's the closest thing that's been like legit in a way to where, okay, not only is this working, but there's like opportunity for this to continue to work as long as we have human life and nature is present for the next however long, where electricity, where there's no cataclysmic black swan worldly negative event taking place, this thing is going to continue. It's going to continue. Cha-ching, ching, 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 ching. And we're looking at like, you don't know how high the price can go. And I get it too, because people equate things value with market cap. The whole market cap thing, I was tricked by the likes of TD Ameritrade, right? Back in the days when it was Daytech, right? E-Trade, I was tricked by those people, those entities before, well, years before, but Daytech, early 90s, late 90s, Daytech. I was tricked into believing that, oh, the market cap right there will tell you everything you need to know. It's not just about some market cap telling you everything you need to know. Because when I launch, listen, man, look out for Like Shinanan coming soon, right? Launch Like Shinanan, I could easily do something and it has a market cap of whatever number I create. You know what I'm saying? But people they don't, it's stuck. Folks are stuck in their own thinking, thinking that what they think is absolute for everything and universal and relative. And that's where we fall short every time. I get it. Because I thought about that with Hex. I'm like, are you mean to tell me there's only 18 million in liquidity and how many tokens and how many $1 billion valuation and all this stuff? Oh, if everyone sells, they're not gonna get it. They only got 18 mil. It's not gonna work. It's not gonna work. It's not gonna work. That was 4 years ago. Like there's other things going on. So why is it working? Why has it been working? Something there that I didn't understand. Oh, impossible. 18 million liquidity only, and how many $1 billion evaluate? It's worth what? How many billions? So you mean to tell me if everyone were to sell right now, how are you gonna get anything if it's only 18 million in liquidity? Right? Where was the ETH? Where did the ETH go? Oh, it's being recycled. You have this video. I'm gonna show you. Listen, I'm gonna show you the video that reveals it all. Where did the ETH go? I found where it went. Flush address? What are we talking about? Huh? Got him. Got him. You got nothing. You didn't get anything. You didn't get him. You didn't get you didn't get him. You didn't get nothing. Oh, the OA. He owns the OA. Has he ever said he owns the OA? Compare the OA to every other type of situation. You could say the Bitcoin, the top holders are the OA for Bitcoin. The top holders of Bitcoin are the Borg, Star Trek. They own most of it. And if there's any type of movement in Satoshi wallet or anybody else's wallet, people gonna scatter. Why is that? But he saw what was present. He saw the mistake, the things that he didn't like, and created something that he thought could be better, and that has since been working for almost 2 full years. Now, already I can understand that the world is still so far behind in what we talk about here. Like, forget about DeFi. They don't even know what Bitcoin or crypto, as you know, what Bitcoin is, for example. So to just break it all the way down to Hex, it's gonna take a while. It's gonna take a while, right? What's unfortunate, what's unfortunate for me, and it's always been my position, like I think Richard has done something remarkable enough in his own right where he doesn't really have to gain anyone's acceptance because the work speaks for itself. That's how I feel. That's how I felt for years. Like, you don't have to, but that's me. He's on his own mission, and maybe he has to go through that to achieve his goal. He wants glory. So, but I'm saying to myself, listen, you got something here that I've heard. I don't know how true this is, but over the years, I've heard that a minimum of at least 2,000 people on chain, verifiable on chain, they say, was able to amass $1 million status with Hex alone. With Hex, okay? That is an incredible feat, right? And you still had these talks, like you see, you're talking about people who've been able to experience life-changing wealth. Thousands of people who've been able to experience life-changing wealth, and we're talking about, they say like a average 2,000 touched millions already, right? Whether it's paper or actual value, it's incredible. We're not even, discounting the others, those underneath. That's incredible. That's incredible for a token to be able to help change the lives of so many. Now, people, what they did with their monies and how they managed it, that's a different conversation. Because I've heard some stories there too, like crazy stuff. People losing a lot because they never knew how to handle it. They never had so much, so they lost a lot. People suffer different challenges, right? But to have had something like that be created, and it's available, and you control, and you can use it to where it's earning you rewards every single day. You don't have to wait to ask anybody to pay you anything. You don't have to like pray that this site works so that it doesn't get DDoS attacked, or you know these people don't freeze your account, or customer service. For that to be absent in this situation is more than just a blessing, man. Like that's just, but people just still haven't realized the potential that's just here. And you can't think for a second that this is the only, that is not going to surpass what it yielded in the past. If this is supposed to be, not if, but since this is a better Bitcoin, and we've seen what Bitcoin has done, we've seen what it's done. Hmm? Every bull, every bull was crashing, was brought opportunities. Well, I'm not gonna say every bull because I wasn't here in every bull. The last two bull markets, the past two, for example, what, end of 17, it went up to 19, 20K. Then 21, it broke 65K or so. And hey, I like I like that pattern. I like the trajectory. Okay, that's looking good. Looking good out here. Just keeps going up, keep going up, keep going up. And then you got technology here, this whole thing with Hex. Like, man, this is, the fundamentals are crazy. Are crazy. I didn't even get into the Pulse chain and Pulse X. See, the mistakes I've discovered with people in this space, they try to create something that is comparable or profess that is going to be better than Hex. They tried, and it hasn't worked out. It hasn't worked out. Nowhere near to the success that Hex has made. That says something. Whether you accept it or not, that just says everything. It says a lot. So if you can't beat them, join them situation, which is why I've seen, and we see, you have derivatives. You have derivatives attached to the winner, because the winner has proven its merit. They say the Hex is 99% down, 99% down from its all-time high. But is it 99% down from its all-time lows? We have charts, we have coins that come out, they go up and they stay down, and have been down forever. Like perspective, we get it. You come in when everything is raging, you come in at the top. It's hard to stomach a 99% drop. But this is the nature of the space that we're in. This is the nature of it. This is why certain things you have to just keep close to your chest, because the world, by and large, will not understand what we deal with here. Not only would they not understand it, but if they really try to understand it, it's too risk. They can't assume that risk. They're risk averse, because this right here is just the risky of risky, and not even. I'm not gonna say Hex is the risky of risky compared to other stuff that's even much more risky than Hex, right? So this is why you got certain things you keep to yourself. You keep a plan because this is for you. Like, you make your decision to do what you're supposed to do for yourself. Not anybody's over your shoulder watching you making any transactions. So you decide. This is why they always say, do your own research, etc., etc. But you seeing all this talk, imagine all the beautiful talk that people have for Bitcoin. Meanwhile, we have a better Bitcoin. You see all this beautiful talk for years. You got at least 14 in the clip, 14 years strong of all the pros that Bitcoin can offer. So add to the fact that we have all that and then some. We have all that and more. You've seen this thing from 0.007 cents Bitcoin, 2000, I want to say 2009 or 2008. The chart is out there. Again, my memory is not the best like it once was. But at one point, I think it was in October, either 2009 or 8, when it was at its super low, 3 zeros and a 7. Okay? People don't talk about that as much. But shout out to Crispy Man for bringing that out 3-4 months ago on a stream that he did. Shout out to him for pointing that out, because I was ignorant to that. I didn't know. I had no idea. 0.0007 to 65. I think even maybe, I don't think it went up to 69K, but to 65K. That's more than 6.5 million X people. That's more than that. That's what Bitcoin did. As clunky, as slow as it is. And we have something better. You know, recently we understand Richard has tweeted a lot within the last week or so. He's been tweeting though, but like within the last week has been saying a lot of stuff, right? You know, voice your opinion, create comments. Um, he dropped an audio, right? 45, 47-minute audio, giving updates on his views on things and what's going on and things of that nature. And I did a breakdown on that, but people gotta, again, like, I keep going back to this whole thing where folks in this community, because Richard hasn't been as present as he was last year or so, how folks in the community feel that they need to lead because Richard isn't leading. I don't agree, but that's me. I don't agree. I don't think we need leaders. The tools were given. Like, here, what has he said all this time? He doesn't work for anybody. Like, the tools are given here. You want to create something, you build it. Like, even though he's not, if it was up to him, he wouldn't want to have any builders on Pulse Chain. That's his personal view. He can't stop people from doing anything on the chain, right? And I remember him asking, wishing that somebody can create something to short, right? To short hex. And right. So you gotta see things sort of like comb through certain things with a fine tooth comb and look at things from a as measured and as balanced as possible. Until like these builders, like a lot of them are just not humble at all. They're not. They talk it, but they're not really showing it. We're supposed to be a community, and we're supposed to represent what crypto is, and people find themselves wrapped up in their feelings a lot more than using or exercising like this impartial, like emotionally, just be emotionally controlled. They can't control their emotions really, right? You're not in his league. You know what I mean? Like, folks have to just respect their position and do the best they can within their position. I don't profess to be a builder. I'm not a promoter, right? I'm not a founder. I'm not any of those things. I'm just old talking to a machine to my viewers. And I'm not gonna pretend and act like, yeah, that I can just offer whatever and what I'm doing is worth millions and millions of dollars. I'm not doing that. You got some who just want to chase his attention, but to what end? And what benefit does that do for the charts? Like, folks miss, sort of like they misalign and they miss the mark on certain things because it becomes a personal thing for them. Oh, he's absent. Why is he absent? What kind of rollout was this? Where's the single-sided staking for Pulse X? Well, you're not talking enough. Oh, you did all this. Oh, you're fat. You talk about, long life extension. Oh, but you don't take care of yourself. You wear funny clothes. Look at all that stuff. All this crazy stuff. This stuff that just becomes nonsense in the grand scheme of things. All these things that are being said by leaders, quote unquote, folks that have built followings from being in Hex from the beginning and made a ton of money and feel like now their word means something, that it has value, it has a certain level of weight. And then they switch sides because some kind of disagreement and whatever. But you have people who listen and who follow, who, if they're not careful, might do the same thing that you do, and it might not work out favorably. Because again, if you can do something better than Richie Rich, do it. Right? If you can add something comparable to what he's created, and not only comparable, but exceed the success rate, then it will make more sense for you to hold a certain position of where whatever. But until then, it's quiet. Like, I'm paying a lot of people no mind. I stay focused on what works, not what you think can work, because this is hard. This is all hard. No one knew in the beginning of it that Hex was going to be successful. This is all a test. of the emergency broadcast system. Ooh, that's what this all is. When you're launching things and blah blah blah, and if it's something brand new, hasn't been tested, or you're just, it's a wing and a prayer. You're hoping that things are gonna work out, but only time will tell. Only time will tell when Liquid Loans will ever launch and if it'll be successful. Only time will tell when Power City will ever launch and if it'll be successful. And all these other sacrifice projects that have launched, time is going to tell how successful they are. But at least you got 4 years of, almost full years of a token operating in such a way when it hasn't been interrupted, and it's yield upon yield upon yield. When you're staking it it's just there doing what it's supposed to be done on multiple chains. These other people, like, they'll talk about copying something from this and copying something from that and this and that. And to be fair, Pulse-Chain is a native fork of Ethereum with upgrades here and there. Sure, but Hex is the first of its first. Is right, original. Of course, it's a better Bitcoin because you still have to apply certain principles that's in Bitcoin and apply it to Hex, but with more features. It's not the same thing though, because Bitcoin is not an ERC20, right? It's more features. So in the spirit of advancing and innovation and this and that, this is where we are. And everything can't be a winner. You're gonna have some losers. You're gonna have some losers. I'm not talking about people. I'm talking about these coins, these projects that I don't wish anybody to experience loss. Right? I don't wish anybody or folks to just scam people and rug. That's never been anything that I've supported. Nothing of the like. But you can't just think that out of your monetary value, you're gonna extend it and separate it 20 different ways, and you think you're gonna win in 20 different with 20 different coins, like all the same. No, and multiply that 20 times 10, 200, because some people, they just fragment. It's a gambling thing for them. One guy keeps talking about how it's like you keep talking and talking and talking, but nobody, like, after a while, it's just you start talking to yourself, because you created projects, you created them, at least you created them. So I don't know why you keep talking. You want folks to be interested in what you got? Okay, say that. But you're gonna just keep talking about, oh, let's unpack what Richard said and in the audio and this and that. Sure, it's cool. I hear you, but there's always a hint of animosity, a hint of hate, a hint of displeasure, and that's off-putting too. Like, for me, I don't need that energy in my life from anybody. I don't need that. This guy gives examples on what he's done. Richard Hart, he's given examples. What other founder in DeFi can give those same examples of things that he's warned people about, right? Things that he's done over the years to just help. The same thing that he says, like, he just announces just for himself, right? And for I guess pure understanding, because nobody else is gonna do it. He's gonna say it. He's a marketing expert. He's the best thing in crypto, right? The giving tree of crypto and all this. Can these other people, any other people here in this community who are builders, can they say that? Like, really say that and be honest with yourself? Like, but if you aspire and you reaching for that, then do that. But, like, you sounding the horn and you seem like you just trying trying to get some kind of attention that you won't receive because you're just a little bit misguided in a direction of where you want to go and what you're doing. I don't understand if you build something great and you helping the people, you still trying to fight a founder that created something for you to just have a lane to build, created an amusement park called Pulse Chain for you to build on, and you still beefing with the founder because he's not giving you any attention. You see what I mean when I say attention is currency? Because people value that. That's weird. That's weird. Like I'm not. It's just not my personality to be wondering if Rich is gonna follow me or not. Like that's not my personality. It's just not me. Some people, they live for that. They live for that. This is an observation. It's not. I'm not, you know. I don't think he has the time or the interest to really speak to founders who have presented to be hypocrites, right? Like y'all got to see things for what they are. Y'all got to see things for what they are, yo. Rich is not afraid to call people out, even people who are just like regular. Now you don't have to be a founder to be called out. He called out the villainous clown last year for introducing some Saitama V2 thing on Twitter. He called that guy out multiple times. Like called the guy out, said his Twitter name and everything, like on interviews. So it's not a thing about him, unwilling to. He'll do it, but like it has to make it. Since then, the villainous clown just did things that were just off-putting. There's a lot of people that are new in crypto that speak like they try to make you believe they're not new, but they're new. They're new. They don't really know. They're learning as they go along. It's just that crypto affords you to have access to a lot of information in a short period of time that you can regurgitate to unsuspecting people who don't know any better, and they think that you know something because you're saying something, you're parroting some information that they were unaware of. So you sound smart when you're really not, because you just got here. And I'm talking about saying influencers, yo. Like don't think, like, for me, I've been there. 3 months in the space. 3 months in the space. You couldn't tell me nothing. I thought I was the man. I started making videos of this. Oh yeah, I know about this. I know about that. 3 months in 2017. First month, first 3 months. Let me do a little study. Got it. Boom. Turn the camera on. Let me talk my talk. And I knew nothing. Knew nothing. And I still know nothing. The 2017 win 23. Ending of 23. Still know nothing. Just trying to figure it out. But you got guys that just come out of nowhere, and you got to pay attention, man. You got to pay attention, people. Listen to what they're not saying. Listen to what folks don't say, because that's where you'll find some nuggets of truth too. Pay attention. We're trying to learn, trying to find a way to uproot yourself out of some type of financial misery, right? How's it feel going to a grocery store nowadays? If you're just a honest working person or whatever, you poor, you middle class, you're looking for a way out. How does it feel going to a grocery store? It's amazing, and not in a great way. It's depressing. Yeah. You're losing purchasing power every time you walk into a store trying to buy an item that you need. Not even something out of luxury, a necessity, whether it is goods or services. You're losing your purchasing power. So you think I have the time to basically expend on the philosophical whims and contradicting nature of founders who absolutely do not have my best interests at heart and only have theirs and pretend like they have yours? It's just what it is, folks. That's why we should be fortunate enough to at least have the foundation set of certain things that we believe in. If we in Pulse Chain, we have the foundation also there present, like certain coins that we know, okay, out of all this other stuff that's on the chain, yo, out of everything that's on the chain, at least you know there's a very few that you can say, okay, let me at least lend some of my faith into the RH joints versus all this other stuff that I'm not sure about, because everything is risky. Everything. But out of the thousands, like, let's keep it real. Let's keep it real. Out of all the thousands of coins that's on the chain already, at least we can say we got 4. I'm throwing incentive in there. Yeah. Hex, Pulse Chain, Pulse X, Inc. At least we got 4 that, and throw EX in there, right? 5. Like, all right. I know I could just, like, if I'm a gambling person, I'll gamble with those versus a lot, because you don't have enough to be gambling with 6,000 other coins. You know what I mean? Like, let's be practical. Let's be for real. And it's not an affront to some of these other guys that really trying to do good work. And if you're doing good work, may it yield an abundance for all deserving parties. May it yield excess. I hope it all works for those that are really serious, trying to make something happen. In the future, we'll see if it turns out, if it works out well, because time is going to tell. That's why some of us are just going to keep on pushing forward with what's been working up to this point. Yes, the prices are down. That's terrible. Yes, it's not like where we would like it to be. And of course, that's always a factor. It's always a factor. But when the real coins, they call them what? The blue chips. When the blue chips rip, let's all be prepared for those gifts of abundance. Of abundance. I don't hate on people doing good work. I don't do that. It's just, Batman and Robin, who always talking about elephant not in the room and all this other stuff and leaders and unpack this and why don't you continue? Just you did something already. You bored? You gotta be. You said your thing is offering millions and millions of dollars to people, and okay, that's good. Keep what you want. Kudos, recognition. Look at how much recognition Richard isn't having that he deserves. stand in line, stand in line. And not only that, Richard isn't even getting the props that he deserves, rightfully deserves, from the entire industry. You also talk sideways about him, and you still want attention from this guy, because that's what you're doing. Keep talking about him, because you're not talking about him in a 100% favorable way, and you try to defend him. You do try to defend him. At the same time, it's like you try to defend him, but then you talk down on Hexicans who don't jive or 100% accept and relate to your philosophy, which this is why you got folks like me. Like, I'm gonna say what I think and what I feel, and irrespective of whatever, I'm not gonna accept that. You believe everyone here has low IQ? Look, RH set a certain bar. He set a certain bar, and a lot of these guys, they just upset that they didn't do that, and they're trying to find a way where they could fit in, and but let the man live his story, yo. You know, let RH live his story. A lot of you guys, you suffer from like certain level of just like mini me syndrome. You wish you were him. That's why you talk about him in such an unfavorable way, is because you really like him. You really wish you were as successful as he is, but you don't know the price he's paying for being in the position he's in. Everybody thinks everything is just cookies and cream. Everybody thinks the grass is always greener on the other side, forgetting that, yeah, you're in your own situation, but I guarantee you, there'll always be somebody. You might not like the position that you're in. There's always gonna be someone or people who have it worse than you. So be grateful for everything you have at any point. Seriously. Oh, it's not enough. It's not enough. I created this project. I created that. You could leverage trade. You could loan. You could do this. You could exchange. You could pool your tokens and this and that. Oh, but it's not enough because, this one's talking bad about me. Or this elephant's not in the room. Where's Richard Hart? I think he's hurt. These guys are disingenuous or they do things in bad. Why? What? We have a better Bitcoin here. We have a better Bitcoin. But what? We have a better Bitcoin. Build off that. I don't know. Good people. Good people. Duty calls. Duty calls. But let me go through the chat and salute y'all before I bounce. Al Merlos in the building. What's going on, man? What's going on? Sir Toasty? If Hex is better than Bitcoin, we'll be able to match user adoption of Bitcoin. That's the hope. I will see. That's the thing. I hope so. I'm not gonna lie. I like that question, man. Oh, Sir Toasty. So yeah, shout out to you. I like that question. I would hope, but time will tell. A lot of things that we're looking for now is just gonna have to reveal itself over time. Crypto, you miss a week, it's like missing a month. You miss a month, it's like missing 6 months. You miss 6 months, it's like missing 2 years. And so much, this thing is rapid, moves rapidly, fast pace, right? And I say that to say that a lot of people lose sight. Like we think 15 years, we're like, oh man, that's good. That's why people don't talk about the 15-year thing a lot anymore, because even back then it was crazy. Like 2019 into 20, to hear about 15 years, it was like, yo, that's generations. They equate 15 years to like 3 generations in crypto, man. But meanwhile, no, it's not. It's still 15 years, right? It's just people are so fixated on just satisfying their cravings right now, their immediate need to be satisfied right away, right now. They can't help themselves. Some people really suffer from these afflictions. I'm not better. I'm not better because I know what it is to lose and experiment and waste time and money and all this and all types of degen stuff that's yielded nothing, you know, that's yielded nothing. Except I understand like how this is. Like imagine we reliving what others have experienced already, you know? 4 years ago, everything, the community was experiencing nothing but hate, nothing but hate, and unsure of where this was gonna go, right? These numbers, these low numbers, all this thing we a lot zero zero such and such 0 4 zeros and a five, January 2020, January 5th, 2020, all time low, you know. I was talking bad about Hex back then and all the waste of time. Biggest financial mistake I've ever made was doing that. Biggest, right? But during that time period leading up to big payday, people were just like just taking a chance. They were just holding on to whatever they wanted to believe, not whatever, but the principles of what got them there to believe in, because they were actually trying to understand what crypto is and how it should really work and what hex is and staking hex and understanding t-share and what the benefits are and what the rates can be and what's APY, right? And all these different things. And that's what a lot of us are doing now, especially people who are new, coming in to relive so we could, prepare for the next cycle and the next cycle after that and the next cycle after that. And hopefully during that whole time, you have more people hearing about it because the community now is not what it was back then. The community now is not what it was back then. It's a lot bigger. A lot bigger. A lot bigger. Even if you even if you say you just about Pulse Chain, you don't know about no Hex and none. If it weren't for Hex, there would be no Pulse Chain. That's how I feel. If it weren't for Hex, there would be no Pulse Chain. Richard Harvey realized the gas fees were just ridiculous on Ethereum, so he created Pulse Chain. Okay, so Hex lives on Pulse Chain now. Hex has its own blockchain called Pulse. You're exposed to it on some shape, form, or indirectly or directly, right? So hopefully this will add to more eyes, more awareness, and people don't have to like rack their own brains and like hurt themselves about mass marketing, like in a sense where there's also going to be a thing where when this market rages, is my opinion, when this thing really soars, people are going to hear about it. People are going to hear about it because folks tend to chase. They chase when everything is going up. That's when you hear word spreads and stuff. And folks that you didn't even know were into crypto are asking you about some crypto. They got to hear about Pulse Chain for real. Because there's a lot of stuff going on here. The marketing is bar none, like with the movie, highest of stakes, all this other type of stuff. All these things are sort of like playing into a perfect storm that's just been brewing, brewing, brewing. It will unleash itself sooner than later. Sooner than later. Because this is the fastest appreciating asset class. And it's just ripe. Like I just like to identify the pros. I don't dismiss the cons. I don't dismiss the counterpoints. I don't dismiss the deficiencies, right? Or the weaknesses. Just because I talk about these cons, I understand, there's a lot needs to be desired even with Pulse X. But I'm not gonna defecate on it and dismiss it and act like, oh, this thing is a wash. It just came out. It's not, all these things are not even 6 months barely. This is long term, but people, time will tell. Time is gonna tell. That's right. Agreed, Tintop, 100%. Almelo say we still up in here, the big dogs of life. We living and you itch. More users doesn't mean better. Yeah. Yeah. Wow. 700K users, Safe Moon had. Wow. I didn't know that. Wow. Interesting. That's exactly, Alma. It shocked everyone. And, like it did the unbelievable. It did the unbelievable. It did the unbelievable. Hex did the unbelievable. It definitely did. I mean, and you can't deny what took place. And people are so salty, unfortunately. Don't be salty, just congratulate, yeah, and move forward in a positive way. Yeah. And that's the thing, this DeFi, the true DeFi aspect of things, like that's what makes this sets a lot of things apart from even legacy finance, even things in crypto that we've seen, and lending things and protocol. Like folks, guys, uh, it's powerful stuff we have over here, man. Finbear in the building. Says salute Allen and the boys. Godfather J6, what's going on? What's going on? Tin Top said I amassed thousand hairstyles with Hex alone. Wow. You see? And remarkable. Remarkable. See, this is why I go back again to something Richard said in an interview last year. A lady was interviewing him, and he said if his mental problem, like he said, if he has a mental problem, he'd rather allow his mental problem to make people rich. My goodness. I ain't mad at that. I've been critical too on him, especially last year with the outrage and all marketing. I'm not mad at that, man, because I had to stand out of my move myself out my own way. And he knows what he talk about a lot better than I do. And who am I? Nobody. You know what I'm saying? Like I man, man. And it doesn't take much to make great things happen, man. It doesn't take much to affect great changes in these charts. Powerful stuff. Yeah, powerful. Wow. ET share started at 0 and now at 250. Wow. Read the code, mofos. And that's the thing too, it's all there. Like, man. Twin fam in the building. Salute, man. Get your hex, get your PLS, get your PLS. Sit down until you have your back. Exactly. Exactly. Just chill. Get what you like by way of these tokens right here. Accumulate. Sit down until you have your bag. Yours. You're right. You're right, man. T-share accumulation on both chains, man. Man, over a year ago we had the ghost chains too. They were out over a year ago, but I don't know what's going on with those chains over there. I think one of those chains became something else. They're forking Ethereum Fair into like some Disney chain. Talk about Mickey Mouse. It's crazy. Yeah, 100%. 100%. Like that, 100%. The T-share mechanic alone is remarkable. It is remarkable. And again, we're 4 years, almost 4 full years, right? Hex is almost 4 full years into this thing. Not weird. Like I wasn't in the beginning like that. Um, but this thing just keeps, man, time is gonna tell, like in the future where you're gonna have to, 50,000 hex for a T-share, 55, 75, 100,000 hex for a T-share. Like this thing is gonna, man. And then with price appreciation, you don't know the levels. I remember when Richard was, 2 years ago in 21, when he was touring, or for example, doing the Highest of Stakes movie and stuff, and they were asking him questions. He was on stage, and he just flat out was like, he don't know like the how high the price can go. Like it's almost too crazy to think about per hex. Like this is what people like, guys. Like I don't care who owns the OA, who don't own the OA. I stick to what in my lane. Like we talk about, guys said this thing is Nobel Peace Prize worthy. Don't make light of what's going on with like clouding or dismissing what's being said because of how you feel about a guy or a disagreement. And so just look at how this thing works if you care. And you gonna understand like the math, this whole thing is just, it's incredible what's going on over here, man. It is incredible what could take place. Imagine, oh man, 100%, 100%. Danny Amore, Almelo says 55 is your 44 at the moment. It will double before end of the year. Yeah, yeah, it can. Right when he always used to say, "Sold on a double, sold on a double, sold on a double, sold on a double." I mean, it just a little double thing just took place within the last 2 weeks. Prices went up by 100%. Like it doubled there. Yeah, E hex and hex. Yeah, yeah. Within the last 2 weeks, it was a double. You see, just like that. Just like that on the low, 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 unless you knew. But we all, who were here, we paid attention. Yeah. I remember what? P Hex was 2 zeros and a 7. It went up to 1.5 cents. Yeah, yeah. E Hex. E Hex was like low, 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 like 2 zeros and maybe a 6 or a 5. I don't know. I think a 5 or 3. Something low. Something low, low, low. I don't have the chart in front of me, but yeah, it was a double. It was, already. DJ Bomber said, catch the replay. Salute to you, man. Make abundance great again. 100%. Ash says, facts. What's up, Ash? That's how to make friends. I really win. Exactly. 100%. 100%. 100%. Merlos, 100%. T-shares on math. Yes. ATX Crypto. What's up, brother? Guys, if you're not subscribed, which I'm pretty sure you already know this guy, he's more popular than me and he's doing great things in this space. Go subscribe to his channel. One half of the Post Nation Collective with him and Westcott Crypto. They do weekly streams. And they did a giveaway yesterday. Fire! Hex was at, see? I knew I wasn't crazy. Hex was at 0.0028. 0.0028. So double and a double. What was that? How many doubles that? Yo, 2x, 3? At least 3. Yo, that joint went over 3x. No. Yeah. My math is wacky, but it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter because that thing went above a penny, like maybe 1.1. Did it? But it hit a penny. That's the point. From 0.28, 0.0028. Whoa. You see what I'm saying? You see? PX was at a 0.0055. Yo, salute to you, Chris A. See? Doubles under the power, folks. Imagine like the power that is within our grasp. I can't even speak. You gave me all excited. I'm getting triggered in a great way. The power that's at our grasp, at our hands right now. Yo, 100% DCA for the win. 3.8x in 13 days. Where the market sentiment is at such a low. And at 3.8x, and where you had people talking about EHEX versus PHEX. EX ain't worth anything anymore. Dump it. Has no value anymore compared to PX. Migrate over to, oh my goodness. You see the potential, folks? You see? Bitcoin did not do a 3.x in the last 13 days, a 3.8x. This is what I'm talking about, folks. We have a better Bitcoin. We have a better Bitcoin. And you know, they're not going to congratulate Richard anytime soon because instead of taking advantage of the free airdrops with putting up their Bitcoin early to get involved with Hex, right? Instead of doing that, they shunned the man. They shunned him. Hex has been an extreme success. They still shun him. They say, oh, this is down 99% from its all-time high, not its all-time low. They still shun him. Hex hasn't scammed a soul. They still shun him. This is why I say he doesn't really need to fight for their acceptance. Because this alone right here, the same feeling that I know you all understand, that you see, like when you talk about potential, right? That and the possibilities and probabilities involved that's laden throughout this whole thing with Hex. The world, like the people like us, is gonna magnify. This will multiply, right? Expand, because it's too incredible. This is lightning that's no longer in the bottle anymore. This lightning is on a blockchain. It's on its own, it's on different blockchains. This thing is catching fire. It's not will. It already caught, and it will expand. And a lot of these people that have not supported him won't matter. They still don't matter now, but they will matter even less, because within the last 13 days, a 3.8x was achieved with a token that was literally thought to be dead by many. 3.8x in 13 days. EHEX. You have collectives of people who were in EHEX who became rich, have said it, did very well with EHEX, who no longer believe in EHEX, have caused other people to make drastic decisions like emergency end stake their EHEX because of what certain people have said that have made nothing but success with EHEX, because they believe now PHEX is the wave. Everybody should migrate from Ethereum into Pulse. This is what some people, certain people, have said, have believed, and would steer people into doing. Steering in real estate in New York, for example, is a crime. When you steer people, when you're dealing with real estate, you're steering potential home buyers in different directions. That's a crime. You want to get into that bag right now? You want to get into that bag? I tell you, man. I tell you, man. Had convinced people to emergency end stake. Meanwhile, look at what they lost out on, a 3.8x. Just like that too. Bitcoin didn't do that. Ethereum didn't do that. X did on Ethereum. On a chain that's been violating the pockets off of poor people. Let's just put it out like for real. With gas fees. 3.8. And this is why I don't support funny business and funny talk and double talk and weird practices by these people who believe that they're influencers, that they have a say, that they have a voice, and they misuse it. They misuse their gifts. They don't respect their gifts. It's not easy to speak publicly, to be outspoken. These are things that are not easy to do. But when you willfully, consciously, you mislead the people, it's one thing to be ignorant. But when you know better and you decide not to do better, I can't support that. I 100% can't support that. And it's easy for me to call out names because I have receipts. It's easy. It's gonna come a time, folks, where the certain things are gonna be revealed, like, because you can't hide, you know, like the truth is something that will always be present. There's only one way you could tell the truth, and there's a innumerable amount of ways that you can lie. There are 1,000 ways you can lie, but the truth comes in one form. And I tell you, you have a lot of people that rather be lied to. Like this just is disgusting. Why? Is because you have levels of people trying to gatekeep you. Like, imagine people in the community gatekeeping you. Like, you know what I mean? Like, this is what, forget about coin market cap and these entities that don't want to talk about Richard and shut him down, and million subscribership people who don't want to interview him, and forget about that. Even though that's a thing, You have folks within the community that want to gatekeep and censor you from keeping it real and telling the truth, because they don't want you and I to succeed as well as they have. If I did that mistake and listened to someone tell me or try to convince me that it's dead for EX, meanwhile it's like common sense, people. It's dead for EX, and like you emergency ended a 15-year stake. Irrespective of what Richard talked about on Twitter, talk about the market decided, irrespective of all that, if I listened to somebody who seemingly was a popular face in crypto and well off, it seemed like they had the knowledge in Hex and all this stuff, and now they all about Pulse Hex over everything else, and dismiss EHEX, don't buy EHEX, and I made that mistake, yo. Oh, it would have been even like on my, I just would have been making all kinds of noise on YouTube, all kinds of noise. That's crazy. That's crazy because people act like they know. People act like they know more than you, more than I. They know nothing. They don't know when the bull market is going to come. They don't know how high the prices are going to be. They don't know how long the bull market is going to last. You know, some people, like I said already, believe we're already in a bull market already and have been in a bull market because the price of Bitcoin went up tremendously. It was less than half what it was, less than half. It was around hovering around 16, 17K at the beginning of this year, from what I remember vaguely. So people say we've been in a bull market. So neither here nor there. People act like they know. They don't have a crystal ball. They can't tell you anything worth any salt. Because look at how you 3.8x. My goodness, folks, guys, gals, everybody. I'm gonna catch y'all on the next one. Thanks for rocking with me this long. Subscribe to the channel, leave a comment, share, and as always, be vigilant, be healthy, and be well. Peace.